So I'll have to do yesterday's because I didn't record it. For some reason, I don't record it. Here we go. Ready? Recorded. All right. The Jewish people are called, the first Rebbe of Chabad said to somebody, one of his followers, I'm sorry. Got something in my throat. The Jewish people are called nerot. They're called lamps. A lamp has a wick, the vessel. It has a wick, it has oil, and a flame. But the flame doesn't come along with it. It's not part of the package. You have to light the flame. And then it starts to making light. The Rebbe told this person, you have a good lamp. Your body, your character traits, etc. But you have to light yourself up. You have to be warm, enthusiastic. How do you do that? You have to strike the stone of your natural soul, and do is change yourself. Then a spark of fire comes out. 1 minute. I have to answer this. Hello. Boker tov u'mavorach. Just 1 moment. Ten li rak shniya. Right. Okay. So by sharply striking the stone of your animal soul, a spark of fire flies out and kindles the godly fire. How do you have to strike your animal soul? What do you have to do? It says the way to do this is what's called, first of all, what's your animal soul? Your animal soul is yourself. It's called animal soul in comparison to the godly soul. The godly soul really feels the truth. Your animal soul is your human soul. It's your human nature. Right? It's what you call yourself, me. Right? And it's not bad. It's not good. It does bad things. It does good things. And bad thoughts are always popping up. If you pay attention to them and they bring them to action, that's called bad. But if you, okay, how do you light yourself? How do you light your godly soul? How? Only by striking the animal soul. What is strike the animal soul? The animal soul has a big advantage to it, is that it's real. When you want to eat, the food is there. You want to eat. You know what eating is. If you want to pray, so what if I don't pray? It's no big deal. I don't feel any lack. If I don't put on tefillin, if I don't keep Shabbat, God forbid, if I don't keep Shabbat, you're not really missing anything. Right? You know, if you don't eat a meal, you feel it automatically. Right? If you don't put on clothes, everybody laughs at you in the street. Right? If you don't have a mezuzah on your house, nobody laughs at you in the street. That's it. The physical world is real. Money is real. You see people. People are real. Peer pressure is real. God pressure, it's not really real. The godly soul feels God, feels truth, feels honesty, feels love. All these things are things that you don't, right, that the world can do without very easily. And especially honesty for God, honesty for the truth, for God, for the love of God, love of your fellow man. Okay, so the natural soul is often the enemy of the godly soul because it's a battle of what is real. Is this world the ultimate reality, or is God the ultimate reality? Right? Is money the ultimate reality? Or maybe no, money must be looked at in the bigger picture from God. Okay, so how do you do this? So it says you have to strike your animal soul. Striking it comes from bitterness. A person has to say, listen, how long am I going to keep doing this? How long am I going to keep acting in a natural way? Getting angry all the time, getting depressed, lying, looking for attention, being whatever it is, aggravated, angry. How long am I going to let my natural desires cover over godliness? How do I know there is such a thing as godliness? It says in the Torah, it says in Likkutei Torah that God exists, that God. So that bitterness that you have, that's striking it. I got to stop this. I have to quit. I have to stop. Right? That hitting, it only has to be done once, maybe repeatedly, but that kindles, that makes a fire and kindles the godly soul. Suddenly you feel, whoa, I can do it. I can really connect myself to my creator. I can do what God wants. And it's a new type of happiness and a new type of identity. Okay, that's yesterday. Let's do today. Here we go. Oh, this is today's. From my father's talks, the avoda, the service of serving God, according to Chassidut, has all sorts of levels. There's one level of life. There's one level of being a corpse, dead. That's a type of serving God by being dead. What type of that? What does that mean? It means that you're totally dead. You're insensitive. You're insensitive to anything godly, anything in Torah, totally insensitive. But there is, thank God, a way out. There's what's called tchiyat hametim, raising of the dead. Usually a person is dead as that's it, you know. You put him in the ground, that's it, finished. But the fact is, it's not finished. The same thing is also a person can think, listen, I don't feel God. I don't care about God. I don't know anything about God. Leave me alone. I'm finished. Says, yeah, you might think that, but it's not. There's what's called the revival of the dead. A corpse is cold. There's nothing colder than your natural intellect, human intellect. Huh? Human intellect. That's the big, at least the big claim of the woke movement, right? We're going according to intellect. We're going to science. We're going according to facts. Intellect, facts. I mean, nowadays they're twisting around the facts also, but that's their claim, intellect, right? Where's this whole, this incredibly self-destructive and insane woke movement? Where is it festering? In the universities? Intellect. Where did Nazism really fester the most? By the professors, the intellectuals, right? The Darwin's theory, the survival of the fittest, right? It applied to intellect. Intellect is cold. Intellectually, like you say, the world came from one atom. And from that atom, the world was, where did that first atom come from? I don't know. But the world came from atom. Let's see what you religious people think. The world came from God. No, I mean, mathematically, the chances that the whole world came from one atom are like 100 billion trillion, whatever is to one, and that your eyes correspond with this. But the chances mathematically that the world was created by God are zero. You cannot bring God into a mathematical computation because God is not a thing. No, so intellect cannot possibly grasp God, right? Wrong. The idea of Chassidut is that your intellect will be able to grasp God. That's called the raising of the dead. That's called the raising of the dead. When one's natural intellect comprehends a godly idea and your emotions that are in your intellect come enthused and moved by this pleasure from thinking about the reality of God, that He's our creator, that is called the revival of the dead. As we'll talk about more, God willing, tomorrow. And now I'll tell you a story also, which will free me from today. I can go and pick up my car. 1 second. 1 minute. Don't want to press the wrong button here. Here we go.